6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, pick your game up.
The first carry for C.J. Prosise. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Hey, hey, hey. You got 3. You got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Yeah, Jay. Let's go right here.
Running from the gun with Henry. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A 22-yard attempt.
And Boswell's kick is good. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the 36, Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Ready?
Now it's Taylor. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target. And it's third down.
Intended for Larry Fitzgerald. Incomplete. Coverage there by Earl Thomas.
Let's go now. Hey, no. You can't block me. You can't block me.
On third down, it's Connor. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on fourth down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
First and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. To throw again. Flushed out right. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. To throw is Jackson. Under pressure. Dupree. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll in this first quarter. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Jackson from the shotgun. Escaping the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Set, ready. 48, come on. Let's go, team. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Switch.
Now a first down carry by Bell. Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Now a handoff to Henry. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Set, ready? 10 logo. No game on this defense, no game.
It's a quarterback sneak, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, where the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Watch the ship. Watch the
A 1st down carry for Henry. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
We're going Mike 40, Mike 40.
Wild Bill, Wild Bill.
On third down, Taylor going deep for Moncrief. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
They'll run here with Connor. And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Derrick Henry. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's going to let this one go. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that will get them one closer. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Taylor. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Steps away to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
I'm going to come back to you.
From the gun, Jackson. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Now Matt Bryant on for the field goal. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Back to the mic. Mike back to. Mike back to. I got you, punk. Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Mike 52. Mike 52.
Final play of the half. It's Taylor. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 right at the 30. The second half starts with a carry by Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Jackson. Over the middle here to Brown. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
First down, Ravens.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Steelers' 42-yard line.
Check 55, Mike. Check.
Jackson, option right.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
On first down, Bell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Jackson. Being chased out left. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's first down from the 42. They begin with Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They keep it with Henry on first down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mike 52, Mike 52. All day, just like that. 81. Check. Check, hot route. Hot, hot. No, check that. We want Mike 52 right here.
On second down now, it's Henry. He's got the first down here inside the 30, and he gets this one down to the 24. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.